Coming up, 'tis the season. An Arctic blast hits part of the country. This comes as many families are heading out this weekend to find that perfect Christmas tree. What are the secrets to picking the right Christmas tree for your family? We have everything you need to know. Also, the White House Christmas tree is unveiled. We're there with the details. Then, lemonade for a good cause. How one 5-year-old turned lemons into lemonade for some families in Hawaii. Also, our picture of the week takes us to Arizona. And what's on your mind?
Hi, my name's Lauren and I'm 4 years old. What's the oldest tree in the whole world?
We'll answer that question and more. And Family Switch.
What is happening? That's me. Cece.
Mom?
Our Kids Edition correspondent takes us behind the scenes of a new holiday movie with a twist.
Well, in this one, it's different because it's an entire family that's switching.
What's wrong with Pickles?
What's going on with Miles?
Pickles is Miles.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. I'm Lester Holt. It is great to be with you guys from our New York City studios. Buckle up. We have a terrific lineup ahead, including a tribute to former First Lady Rosalyn Carter, plus the word of the year. And a bit later on, we'll introduce you to sisters who show us just what it takes to be a Radio City rockette. But first, in the news this week, parts of the country have been hit with an Arctic-like blast, cold temperatures, and even snow in places like Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Meantime, the national Christmas tree tipped over during high winds this week in Washington, D.C. The National Park Service said the tree is now standing upright after a snapped cable was replaced. And speaking of trees, the White House is getting into the holiday spirit. This week, First Lady Jill Biden unveiled the official Christmas tree in the Blue Room at the White House. The theme this year, magic, wonder, and joy. The First Lady says the theme is inspired by children's experiences of the season. The tree is a Fraser fir from North Carolina and has the names of all the U.S. states, territories, and Washington, D.C. Throughout the White House grounds, there are 98 Christmas trees and all different kinds of holiday decorations and displays, including Santa's workshop in the state dining room. And the China room is filled with cakes, cookies, and other sweet treats. More than 300 volunteers from across the country worked hard to decorate the inside and outside of the White House this year. And did you know the first known Christmas tree in the White House was placed upstairs in the second-floor Oval Room in 1889 during President Benjamin Harrison's administration? Also making headlines this week, former First Lady Rosalyn Carter was honored by her loved ones and laid to rest in her longtime home of Plains, Georgia. Rosalyn Carter passed away recently at the age of 96. We get more now from our friend Blaine Alexander, who was at the public tribute to the former First Lady.
A fitting final farewell for a former First Lady. Flanked by her grandchildren, Rosalyn Carter's casket carried into Atlanta's Glen Memorial Church. Awaiting her inside, former President Jimmy Carter, wheelchair-bound and covered with a blanket. For more than 77 years, the two were side by side. Now, at age 99, he made the long trip from Plains, Georgia, to bid his wife goodbye. Joining him, President and Mrs. Biden, Vice President Harris, and former President Clinton, along with every living former First Lady. The ceremony itself was a moving snapshot of the things Mrs. Carter held dear. From the music, including a tribute from the Carters' close friends Trisha Yearwood and Garth Brooks,
you may say I'm a dreamer,
to the speakers themselves, among them her richest legacy, her children.
My mother was the glue that held our family together through the ups and downs and thicks and thins.
And daughter, Amy, holding back tears as she read a love letter from her father to her mother, written 75 years ago.
When I see you, I fall in love with you all over again. Does that seem strange to you? It doesn't to me. Goodbye, darling. Until tomorrow. Jimmy.
All right, Blaine, thanks for bringing that to us. Rosalyn Carter was married to Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, for 77 years. Jimmy Carter is the longest living president in U.S. history. He is 99. In other news, Merriam-Webster released their 2023 Word of the Year, and it's authentic. Authentic has a number of meanings, including not false or imitation, a synonym of real and actual, and also true to one's own personality, spirit, or character. Among the runner-ups for Word of the Year, coronation. Coronation refers to the literal act of placing a crown on a monarch's head, like we saw earlier this year in England with the coronation of King Charles. All right, many families are getting into the holiday spirit and in the market for a Christmas tree. Experts say this weekend is one of the most popular times for finding that perfect tree. Let's get more now from our friend Dylan Dreyer.
'Tis the season for trimming the tree, like in the movies.
There it is.
And it all starts with the selection. Finding that perfect Christmas tree is a tradition kids and grown-ups enjoy every year.
I kept checking, when can we go? When can we go? Yes, I'm excited.
It's a family tradition. We do it every year.
And right now is the prime time for picking out your tree.
So we were busy last weekend, and then the next 33% will be this weekend and those first few days of December.
Did you know it takes years and lots of hard work to grow Christmas trees?
I think young people would find it interesting that we grow Christmas trees on farms. They are not taken out of the woods or forests, because that does make you worry, gosh, should I really cut down a real Christmas tree? But because we're growing them on farms, we're constantly replanting. Typically, it's at about an 8-year process. Now, from the time it's a seed that comes out of the cone, we've got about 3 years of work to do in a nursery. And then it goes to the farmer. He plants it on his farm. The other interesting thing, as we're growing these trees, they're home to a lot of different wildlife species, habitats for birds, rabbits, and that can make you feel good as well.
Among the most popular varieties of Christmas trees,
there are more than 20 different species you can take a look at. It's all regional. The big species, the popular ones, like the Douglas fir, Fraser fir, noble fir, they might be grown in a certain area, but those are grown in such large quantities that we ship them everywhere. But some are very locally grown. In the South, they grow a very different Christmas tree, something like the Leland cypress or the Murray cypress. So it's kind of fun to go locally and see what you can find.
If you're headed out with your family to a local farm in search of the perfect Christmas tree, here's what to know before you go.
The most important thing to do before you leave is to know how high your ceilings are. You really do want to measure just to be certain. And leave a little space for the stand, because that's going to bring it up a few inches. Leave some space for the angel or the star. And when you get to the tree lot, be sure you're really measuring. The trees look very small outside, and then you get them home and they're way too big. So really measure that, know exactly what you're looking for.
And for families who want to get their tree early, tree farmers say there are some extra measures you should take.
When you buy it, around Thanksgiving, you may not put it up for 2 weeks. Get it in a bucket of water outside, preferably in the shade, out of the sun, and then when you go to put it up, make a fresh cut on it, get it in the stand, and make sure there's always water in it.
And once your tree is trimmed, don't forget to take a deep breath and enjoy the magic.
81% of the people who were surveyed said real Christmas trees smell like Christmas itself.
That's quite a testament, and something we're really proud of, and something we're happy that we get to share with consumers every year.
A part of the holidays that the whole family can enjoy and help out with.
Everybody can get involved with making the choice, bringing it home, decorating, but there's one little job that everybody can pitch in on, and that's making sure that you're watering that tree. So don't get on the naughty list, be on the nice list and water your Christmas tree. It's just really something to bring people together.
Here's hoping this holiday season is tree-rific.
All right, Dylan, thanks so much. Time now for What's on Your Mind. Take a listen.
Hi, my name's Lauren and I'm 4 years old. What's the oldest tree in the whole world? Bye. I love Nightly News Kids Edition.
Oh, that's great to hear. Be careful in the tree there, but that looks like fun. Well, thanks so much, Rowan, for watching and for that great question. The tallest living tree in the world is a coast redwood tree, nicknamed Hyperion, and it towers at 380 feet tall. This gargantuan tree was discovered in 2006 by naturalists Chris Atkins and Michael Taylor, who named the tree after the Greek titan Hyperion. The tree is believed to be between 600 and 800 years old and lives in Redwood National Park in California. That's about 250 miles north of San Francisco. However, if you're in the area and are hoping to catch a glimpse of Hyperion, you'll want to think again. The area around the tree was closed in July 2022 due to tourism and habitat devastation. That makes it illegal to get too close to Hyperion, so it can continue to stand tall for years to come. Well, let's head now to Arizona for our picture of the week. This baby white rhinoceros was born on November 7th at Wildlife World Zoo in Arizona. Masiki is the first white rhino born in the state in decades. The baby rhino was 100 pounds when she was first born, and the zoo says she's been steadily gaining about 10 pounds per day. Did you know Masiki means ears in Swahili? And that's how she got her name, because her ears were getting in the way during her mom's ultrasounds, which made it hard to check up on her. White rhinos are considered a threatened species, and the animal is going extinct in the wild. The zoo says it took a lot of hard work to get to this point. The team created a rhino conservation plan 10 years ago to protect this endangered species. So welcome, Masiki. Turning now to our Inspiring Kids series, this week we introduce you to a 5-year-old boy from Seattle, Washington, who wanted to help families in Hawaii after wildfires devastated their communities. When the fires started in Hawaii, 5-year-old Edison had an idea.
We were on a walk one night and I said, hey, why don't we have one of those stands?
A lemonade stand, to be exact. After visiting Hawaii with his family earlier this year, Edison knew he wanted to help the best way he knew how.
I created the lemonade stand to help the people in Lahaina. Donate the money to the people in Lahaina because their houses got burned down. See us. Come see us.
His parents started posting videos on social media to get the word out.
Good job.
I think it's good.
We loved that he had the initiative, that he took his thoughts about how sad it was and thought about something he could do.
And in just days, Edison's lemonade stand raised an incredible amount of money.
Over $12,000. $20,000.
The proceeds went directly to helping people affected by the Hawaii wildfires.
We're selling popsicles.
At such a young age, Edison is already showing initiative, making his parents and community very proud.
We were so proud that Edison heard something sad and decided that there was something he could do about it. So I think it's really easy for grown-ups to sometimes feel helpless and overwhelmed by all the sad news. And so we really loved following his lead on this and hearing about the ways he wanted to help people. And he worked really hard. He was out there all day in the sun, selling a lot of lemonade, talking to all the customers, making lemonade all day. So he worked really hard. That was really special to see. And it's been so fun to see him think of ways that he can help people make a difference in the world at this age.
Great work, Edison. In this week's Spotlight, grab your popcorn. There's a new comedy just in time for the holidays. Family Switch, starring Jennifer Garner and Ed Helms, is a fresh take on a classic idea with a big plot twist. Our Kids Edition correspondent Akshay Adams recently sat down with the stars of the movie to find out more.
What is happening? That's me. Cece?
Mom?
It's a new twist on a classic comedy theme.
I wish you could be me. I would love for you to be me for one day.
I would love for you to know what it's like to be me.
I would kill to eat a dozen donuts and just have it burn right off.
Would you take a picture of my family, please?
Everybody say Merry Christmas.
there have been a lot of movies like this, the formula of like people switching bodies, like you were in 13 going 30. Like, what would you say made this one like super special and different?
Well, in this one, it's different because it's an entire family that's switching.
I'm 17 again. That's right. And families switch. The entire family switches places.
Look at you. I mean, you were right about that outfit. You look fly. But I am here stuck in this hag body.
Jennifer Garner, a hardworking professional mom, switches places with her soccer star daughter, played by Emma Myers. What did you have to do differently as an actor to act like a teenager?
Well, I'm older now, so I had to limber up and stretch so that I could feel totally comfortable in my body. Like when I had a teenager inside this old bag of bones, she would try to do something like jump over a railing and fall on her face because she didn't know how to do it, or she wouldn't know how to walk in heels or things like that.
You also ruined things with Ariana, Dad.
Things are not that bad, okay? She tried to kiss me.
You stole my first kiss?
While Ed Helms, a rock and roll loving dad, finds himself back in high school after trading bodies with his science nerd son. So, what was your high school experience like?
My high school experience was somewhere between Wyatt and Bill's. Like, I wasn't quite as socially awkward kid as Wyatt, but I definitely didn't have the swagger of Bill. I just was sort of trying to find my way.
What's wrong with Pickles?
What's going on with Miles?
Pickles is Miles.
Even the family's French bulldog gets in on the fun.
It's the baby dog switch that makes the whole thing work.
That was amazing.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. That was funny. How did you like working with the dog who played Pickles? Like, I've heard sometimes dogs can be frustrating direct. Did you have any trouble with him?
No, the dogs were so professional that I would tease the actors. Why can't you be more like the dog? Hit your mark, do your thing, and perform accordingly.
Nice, because like I took a picture with him. He like knew what was up. He went to the camera, like he went to like look straight into what he was posing, all that.
Yeah, that dog is a ham.
Can you help me with this problem? I'm kidding, you can't help me.
No, I can't.
The film's father and son struggle to understand one another, something many of us can relate to. I feel like this movie is about trying to relate to a son and a dad who do everything super different. They don't care about the same things at all. What advice would you have for someone who has that situation in real life?
Patience, right? And really trying to get into the head of the other person and understand what they're going through and what their fears and insecurities might be. It's so easy to project onto other people what you feel and what you think is right. But one of the things that's I think is so great about this movie and this story is it's about trying to understand each other better, and it's about trying to communicate and connect.
An important message for families, just in time for the holidays.
This is just a dream, and we have to wake up. Slap me.
For Nightly News Kids, Akshay Adams, Los Angeles.
Okay, Akshay, thanks. Great work. Finally, two sisters who are doing those high kicks side by side for the very first time as Radio City Rockettes. Our friend Joe Fryer has the story.
For so many of the Radio City Rockettes, before they were dancing on the stage, they were watching from the audience, including Jordan and Danielle Betcher.
You probably get this a lot, but are you sisters?
We are sisters, yes.
Danielle, the oldest, remembers seeing the Christmas Spectacular with her grandpa when she was 13.
And he must have seen that look on my face of just like pure joy, because he leaned in and he goes, you know, someday you could do that if you wanted to.
10 years ago, she did, and 7 years ago, her sister did. This year, for the first time, they're right next to each other on the kick line.
I just know that she has my back, both on and off stage.
Danelle Morgan also has their backs.
Old Saint Nick will ride through the sky.
She's a swing, ready to step in when someone is out.
It's an incredibly challenging job. We don't just learn the one track that a single Rockette will do in the show. We learn the entire show.
Sometimes do you only have like a moment's notice before you have to jump in?
There have been times where it's mid-show and then all of a sudden we're on the stage.
An 18-year Rockette vet, she knows her parents could be in that audience.
They pop up and they show up in the front row for a show where I'll hear my dad cheering and I'm like, oh my gosh, my parents are here. They didn't tell me they're here, but they're here, okay.
So your parents don't always warn you that they're coming?
Oh no, they don't always warn me. I can see my mom's glasses reflecting with the lights, and it's just really special to know that there's love coming at me while I'm performing.
Reminder, the Rockettes are not just in sync with each other, but with you too. Joe Fryer, NBC News, New York.
Okay, Joe, thanks very much. Well, that's going to do it for us. Parents, just a reminder, if your child has a question about any topic in the news, email a video to us at NightlyNewsKids@NBCUni.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at NightlyKids. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to take care of yourself and each other. So long.